Good morning, good morning, good morning again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual news short disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, please click on the description box. You're going to find all the pertinent links to get you caught up. In particular, I want you to note the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics, and where they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center felt so threatened by this particular article that they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so if you could, folks, please read that article and share it on all your social media. Also included in there is their public statement, NeuroClastics, in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC sees through with their threat. Trigger warning. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Second trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity on occasion and we do speak on dark subjects. So if your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised, all right? Another trigger warning on this channel, I'm going to speak what's on my mind. I don't care if it's popular. I don't care if you agree. This is my sounding board. So, if there's anything that I say that you do not like, please spare me and yourself. Don't bother to leave your nasty comments because, as Foamy the Squirrel would say, I'm not going to read them. And see yourself off of my channel, okay? Because I'm going to have some opinions that do not align with the popular media stances. Okay? Can I put that out there? Okay, good. Now back to where we left off, shall we? Autistic. No, I read that. When people place themselves as experts in issues that directly affect a group of people they can intrinsically never belong to, and then cause direct harm to that population, what recourse is there for the affected community besides self advocacy? We've seen this dynamic play out before in things like racialized police violence. Yep. See, when you have a whole basically when you've got multiple organizations, places like Autism Speaks and other places out there in the world making money off of ABA, and they try all they can through the mainstream media to drown you out, just like they've done with other neurodivergents, like Johnny Depp. Yeah, I said it. When they are demonizing you, vilifying you, showing video and video and video of meltdowns, screaming at the top of the lungs that we don't understand because we're not like their kids and we don't have real autism, our only recourse is social media and boots on the ground. All right? Whether that is boots on the ground in a form of marching or whether it's us camping out at the door of our senators and representatives. Okay? Perhaps a fundamental issue in psychiatric care is that those whose lives are at stake have never been allowed to hold authority or autonomy over their own treatment or humanity. Sing it! You're singing my song. You are singing my song. That is the point, folks. One of the major ones. The ABA therapy that they took from day one does not allow us to hold any type of authority, to be able to consent, or have any form of autonomy in regards to our own treatment programs. One of the main reasons why is these individuals still hold on to, yes, even for us so-called high functioning folks, this idea that we're not really human. Yeah. And they push that narrative. Why do you think I came against In the Fire? Because it had nothing to do with Little Miss Sing. Okay? It is coincidental that she is a part of that project. I would have came out against it anyway once I got news of it through the autistic community. All right? Violence and institutionalization remain mainstay approaches, and we enforce that Levis-esque pedagogy of punishment through educational surveillance, police intervention in mental health crises, and solitary confinement. There's more interest in ABA and more collaboration with autistic people. We're looking at more at it, says Elfert, though it remains unclear why it is still acceptable to allow neurotypicals to dominate the field of research in autistic focused therapy. Let's say it again, folks. There are autistic researchers, doctors, professionals who specialize in particular on person-centered planning. Some of us hold certifications. Hi, how you doing? That would be me. But we are a massive minority. And you want to talk about having to put in some work, some hours, some blood, sweat, and tears to educate and provide resources for person-centered planning. Allow me to say it for the billionth time. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Okay? According to Elfert, she has seen several autistic students in the ABA program at CapU during her 24 years in the field, but more recently, it's the parents of autistic children coming to the program in larger numbers. Ah, we call it Autism Mommy TM. They get brainwashed by these folks, and then they know everything. And they're going to sell you a bunch of snake oil crap. I know because I've been dealing with it for over a decade. ABA practitioners promote strong scientific backing, suggesting that it works because it achieves its goals. The question remains who these goals are for, and what more the insidious cost of achieving them is. How many times have I said it, folks? As long as they get what they want, they don't care what it costs us. They don't care if we end up suffering with post traumatic stress disorder. They don't care that we have been essentially groomed, set up, and ready for any predator that comes down the pike. They don't care that they are teaching us to never say no. Okay? It is a set up for all the predators of the world. Okay? They don't, as long as the neurotypicals get what they want, they consider that a success. I do not. I do not consider it a success if I am in a form of therapy that teaches me to hate myself, or a form of therapy that teaches me that I have to change every single little thing that makes me me and create an elaborate mask in order to be worthy of being treated like a human being. That's not success. You see larger and larger numbers every year of autistics my age going into autistic burnout and almost completely shutting down with barely any ability left in order to be able to function. You have kids with PTSD committing suicide at younger and younger ages every single year. But they're still going to call that person who just took their life a success because at least they were acting neurotypical. You see their measure of so called success, right? These goals are not for us, it's for them. It is to make them more comfortable in having to deal with us. Okay? Blatant and straight out. An American study of nearly 16,000 autistic children receiving approximately 30 hours a week of ABA over an 18-month period showed that ABA had no real effect on autistic traits. Presentation was functionally random, regardless if they had gone through up to 6,000 hours of ABA or none. And that is what seals it all for me, folks. For all ABA's promises, for all that it totes, that it's the only way we're going to be able to live free, independent lives and move around in society. At the end of the day, it's a lie. It's a lie. And they teach us to lie. Because that's what a mask is, folks. It's a made up character. It's a lie. Walking, talking lie. It's what it is. Okay? See, Kitty agrees. In actuality, putting us through this therapy does not change a single autistic trait that we display. Matter of fact, some of those traits become stronger in the form of meltdowns or autistic burnout. There is a price to pay. One can only wear a mask for so long, folks. As someone who has had to do it, I can't tell you how exhausting, how draining it is, how demeaned I feel, how absolutely just, yeah, it's not a pleasant feeling, folks. Okay? The mask will only stay for so long. There comes that point in time when you just can't mask anymore. You're exhausted. You're caught in a cycle of brutal self hatred. And it comes to a head. We're going to close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. We'll see you next time.